So there hasn't been much discussion going on, at least from what I've seen on YouTube, about some of the trees that have come out. And since I'm now starting to play Death Knight, these trees that have come out are starting to intrigue me. So I wanted to go through there and go through there and talk about them. I have there's some good stuff and there's some bad stuff on it, but I really have some good things to say about the class tree side, but the spec tree side I've got some issues with. Not that they're bad, but I'll get to that in a minute. But starting with the class tree, it's just simply phenomenal because if, for example, I wanted to play strictly as blood, I'm automatically going to get Death Strike, which makes sense because that's the whole core of how we play for defensive and healing ourselves. But as we continue on down through here, the next option is anti-magic shell, which is awesome. So the other ones that there to choose from is Chains of Ice or Raise Dead. And while we've been able to use this as blood, and we've been able to use this as blood, this may not be much of an option going on further because there's much more better things to choose from as you go down through here. I mean, you're more than happy to come click through here, but then just like the old trees from back in the day, the more points you put here, the less you have a chance to put in over here. So you have to be very tactful with how you want to do things. I mean, do you really need improved death and decay? Probably, because we have it now, but I mean, it gives you heart strike damage. So it's really tough how these are going to come out later on in the future. But what I've come up with so far is you're going to need all your defensive tank stuff, right? And a lot of these won't even let you proceed down here unless you have these all filled in. So you're going to need some of these, right? And then I can do anti-magic shell. But what if I decide not to use this route and then I go here? And that opens up a whole new, I mean, holy crap. It's just good. I can spec down the holy tree if I want to and get a whole bunch of things. Let's just say I want to get this far, and then I'm just going to get these, and then I can't go further unless I put more points in. But you have to take a look over here. You have Icebound Fortitude, which is something that you really need. So, do you really want to go down this far? I would venture to say no. I would say this is okay, but I would actually have to say that you would want this just so you can get Mind Freeze because you need an interrupt. You need your Icebound Fortitude. You don't need Blinding Sheet. It's more of a PvP talent anyway. So then you're like, well, do you need Sacrificial Pact? No. Do you need Wraith Walk? Maybe. But you need the Avoidance so you can start putting that points in there. Increasing your Leech. This is always nice to have. I liked having this. Permafrost. That's pretty nice. You get an Absorb Shield. So you can play around with these and pick down through here to help get you down to here. But again, you're stuck here. So you have to start throwing points. And here's one of the ones, I don't know why the Blood Tree doesn't have it, but Unholy and Frost do. But you can pick. You can either do Runic Power or Runic Corruption, right? So we'll just pick Runic Empowerment. And then you get Icebound Fortitude. Then these unlock. Of course, you want to improve Death Strike, and eventually, now this is. I'm not a fan of Abomination Limb, but I think these are much better for class talents. A-bomb limbs. Anywho, I've only spent 24 points out of 31, so you can you can play around with these. Horn of Winter, Willow and Acropolis, definitely gonna need that, and eventually you final that tree off. My concern is the blood tree because you get 30 points here, and so you need this, you need that. These are like all core abilities that you now lose because they're in your talent tree. You need Fell Bulwark, right? You know, you might not need improved Blood Boil, but Crimson Scourge is nice. Definitely want improved Heart Strike. Definitely want improved Bone Shield. A lot of the stuff we already have. You don't necessarily need Blood Tap. That'd be nice. Problem is, you're forced to go down and choose, right? So eventually you get down here to the bottom, and I think I ended up. What did I pick? I think I went this route so I could get Dancing Rune Weapon. I mean, Dancing Rune Weapon is core to the spec, so I don't know why you would have to talent in this to get something that you've already had in the past. It sounds really silly to me. But and then there's your legendary. Anyway, I got enough points to get down to Everlasting Bond. Now, the nice point about this is if you don't need additional copy of Dancing Rune Weapon, you can put points in here to get Bone Storm, or if you're doing Prog, you can do Purgatory. That's really cool. But the shuffling around of all these different talents that you need are all scattered all around out through here. And I think it's going to be a lot harder to get what you want. I've got 24 points left to spend. And like here, Gorfine's Grasp. Well, that's really good for Mythic Plus, but you might not need it for Raid. So that's cool. But these are all baseline. The problem is I have is that these are baseline abilities. And they really should be not in a talent tree. I think Blizzard needs to start making some better talents and give us core abilities. But still early in the game, or still early in design process, so maybe they'll turn around and fix this stuff. But this part I'm not a fan of because we lost, or it looks like we're going to lose a lot of our abilities just so we can get them back later on in the blood tree. So anyway, thanks for watching, and talk to you again next time.